Hi, and welcome back to the Wolf's Den. Second week running here, guys. First, wait a minute, before we get started too seriously here, need to introduce you all to someone. I'd like for you all to meet Ash. Ash is my girl. She's my baby. Okay. Yes, she's a voodoo doll, and she's so precious. Ash is a very nice voodoo doll. Very nicely made. Yes, this does work, people, if you know what you're doing. Once again, this is not a toy. This is not something to play with unless you know exactly what it is that you're doing. I advise you, do not use this. Okay? This is a tool that can actually be used for good or evil, depending on how it's charged, depending on how the intent that was put into it. So anyway, say hi to Ash, everyone. Ash says hi to you. Okay? Putting her down now. Once again, as I was saying, welcome back to the Wolf's Den, second week. I got some great input back off of the first video. There was a lot of people that were very energetic about it and had a lot of good suggestions. And you know what? Had a lot of ideas that we are going to, as we go along, is we are going to put into this program. So today, what are we shooting for? Our goal today is, last week was my introduction to you, to who I was, and what my intent was. This week here, I'd like to start with the basics. Okay, the basics is this. So how does a witch make a spell work? There are several different ways that we do that. The first one being the most obvious. We use the elements. We use energy. The elements being, now a lot of people tell you there's only four. There's actually five. Earth, air, fire, water, being the four that most people are familiar with. The fifth one being Akasha, the spirit. Akasha is a very powerful element. It is actually the element that supplies energy to all the other elements. It's kind of like the mother of the elements, if you want to call it that. Do not use Akasha, people, until you've had much experience. Akasha is something that can overwhelm you, it can overcome you, and it can hurt you in a heartbeat. Stay away from it. Some people will tell you it's the dark energy that surrounds everything else. And the reason it becomes pure is because the other elements filter out the darkness, or they filter out that mass energy, downsizing it to fit whatever, we may need. And that's true. It's very true. So to make a spell, yes, we work a lot with spells. How do we make a spell work? The most common would be through the elements. We're getting that a little bit further. Is there any other way besides transferring of energy, the transference of energy to make a spell work? Yes. Obviously, we use spirits a lot of times. Especially, and I'm not going to lie to you, if I'm working on something that's big, well, I mean, say a healing that's really big, or even a curse, something I guarantee that I need to work. A lot of times I will use a spiritual influence. Some of it is demonic. And that's how people might say, well, oh, that's kind of freaky. So how do you do that? You do that by what we call invoking. We invoke a spirit. We find the spirit or the demon, whatever you want to call it, that is going to best benefit us in that given task, and we invoke it. We actually allow that demon or that spirit to enter in, to abide with us in the process of getting this accomplished. A lot of people say, oh my God, I couldn't do that. You know what? You're absolutely correct. You can't. Don't. First things first, if you have any fear whatsoever, if there's an ounce of fear, here's the thing, close your eyes and imagine. Say to yourself, wow, if I was to wake up in the middle of the night and there was this dark deity sitting at the foot of my bed, I'd be terrified. Then here's my advice. Don't invoke. Don't. Stay away from magic, period. Magic's not something for the fearful. If you feel that there's something that you're going to be afraid of, if you feel that there's something out there that's going to cause you a moment of pause, my advice to you is just not for you. Craft is not easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is easy. It's not easy. It's a way of life. It's sometimes they're very difficult, and it can be very lonely. There's not quite as many of us out there that really do the craft, that really work our craft. You've got a lot of pretenders, but you know what, you can find that anywhere. You can find that any religion, you know. I know Christians that are some of the biggest pretenders I know. They'll tell you, I love God and I'm going to heaven. Really? So when was the last time you picked up your Bible? Don't even know where my Bible's at. Wow. When's the last time you got down and prayed? On my knees? You mean actually half an hour or more? Yeah, half an hour more. When I was 10? Wow. Yeah. People, witchcraft is like anything else out there. It takes dedication. Do not come to me and tell me, well, I want to be a practicing witch, but here's the stipulation to that. In being a practicing witch, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to put on my medallion, my pinnacle. I want to be able to put on maybe some jewelry, you know, and I want to be able to light a few candles, which as you can see in the background, yeah, I've got some candles lit. I want to be able to say abracadabra and a couple little words. And then, yeah, then I want to say I'm a witch. Well, you could. People are going to laugh at you. You're going to be very unsuccessful in this. And a lot of people are unsuccessful, but folks are unsuccessful because of that very reason. They don't take the time to study. They don't take the time to learn their craft. You have to put into this. And let me tell you, it's so beautiful. It is. You know, I cannot tell you how many times I can sit down on my porch and, you know, the rain's falling, and everybody be like, wow, you know, it's rain, and it's pitter-pattering off the tin roof. I've been so focused in my meditation that each raindrop has its own unique sound. Every breath of air that runs across my face has a different feel. Some warm and soothing, some cool to the touch. No two the same. If you really put your time and effort into this, this can be one of the most beautiful things, and I'm telling you, the craft can be one of the most beautiful things that you could ever hope to do in this lifetime already. Am I trying to convince people, well, you need to start doing great? No, actually, I would suggest for the average, for most, seriously, for most, craft's not for you. Because most people are not going to put in the work that it takes. So what does it take really to be a witch? Dedication, love, no fear. I'll repeat that. Dedication, love, and no fear. Dedication, love, no fear. And people, if you have those three things, there's nothing that you cannot do. You can walk into that hospital room, that woman is lying there dying, a doctor should have done diagnosed her and said she's dead. It's over, calling the family. No, it's not. Because you can walk in and heal that woman in faith, believing, and knowing that she's going to come up okay. I've done this. I'm not telling you anything that I haven't already done. Or, you know, someone who's, and I touched up on this a little bit, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, there was a pedophile, a guy that the court systems let off. It took me less than 30 days to take his life. Doctors still haven't figured out how, in such a gruesome way, he died. He died a very horrible death. Science still ain't put two and two together, and they spent a month trying to call it murder because they couldn't figure out how in the world it was even physically possible for the human body to do that. Empty itself completely out, organs and everything. Yes. Yes, it can be done. Did I do that on my own work and my own will? No, I did that with a lot of demonic help. But it can be done. So there's your dedication. Love. So love and witchcraft, really? Love of what? Okay, love of the craft, okay, I get that. No. Not just love of the craft, but love for everything that the craft surrounds. Oh, excuse me, I'll light up. love for everything that the craft surrounds, the universe in itself. You know what? I'll tell you, like I tell a lot of people, I've never seen a moon that didn't cause me pause. And I've never seen a sunrise that didn't cause me to just stop and stand in pure awe. I've never seen a bird fly, no matter how ugly or plain it may have been, that it did marvel at the gracefulness and at the purity of its flight. People, the craft is about love. It's about acceptance. It's about acceptance. It's about acceptance of the Christians, the people out there that torment us the most, the people that hate us the most, the ones that will tell us you're going to die and burn in the devil's hell. Well, I might. Could. Maybe. But you know what? If there was a place called hell, and if I was to burn in it, then it was because of choices. Then I mean, this is a choice, people. This is nothing more. Yes, I was born into this. Yes, it was born into my blood. But yes, I could have walked away. I did not have to choose this lifestyle. I chose it out of love. Love for the people in it, love for the people outside of it, love for everything that it surrounds, all living things. Now, does that mean that I'm Christ? Am I the new Christ? No, far from it. Antichrist, maybe, but not Christ. No. Do I love everybody out there unconditionally? No, I don't. But I do love everything out there that the craft surrounds. I want to love everybody. Some people are just unlovable. So, no, there are people out there that can I say that I love them? No, I don't love them. Anyway, you know what? I'm getting way off drift here. So anyway, we've got love. We've got love covered here. Okay, we've got dedication. We've got love and no fear. And I'll say this to you people: if there's fear, the craft's not for you. Repeat that. If there is fear, if you cannot close your eyes and imagine waking up in the middle of the night and a demon or a deity sitting at the foot of your bed looking down at you, and you can't roll over and look at that deity or that demon and go, oh, good evening, and roll back over and go to sleep without an ounce of fear, that my thing to you is this: craft's not for you. Other aspects of craft out there that are, you know, more away from demon. Wicca is a perfect example. Wicca stays away from demon. Matter of fact, Wicca stays away from the Akasha. The whole aspect of that pretty much altogether. You know, maybe that's for you. You know, my thing is that one of the things I love about my particular practice of the craft is the power. It is the power. I'm running on 8 cylinders, not 4. I mean, I use everything about it, including demons, you know. Somebody said, well, could someone bind you? Bind me? How? I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Could you imagine taking a chain and binding Baphomet or Baal? Well, let's go one step further. How about take a chain and bind Lucifer? Now, come on. There ain't a witch out there in this world, no matter what practice you claim to practice, that's going to bind that deity. Lucifer would bust through anything that you tried to bind him with and probably strangle you with it. So, in all honesty, could someone who practices my walk of craft be bound? The answer is that simple. And not a prayer's chance in hell. Not going to happen. Could it make me the most powerful warlock in the world? I don't know. I don't know all the warlocks in the world. Probably not. I do have a lot of power. I do have a lot of ability, and I'm very proud of that. But I have spent my whole life practicing that, from the Theban to the Theban language to the you know, the Latin, the Greek, the Hebrew translations, the ancient translations all over the world. So I have literally dedicated my whole life to this craft. People, there is power here to be had. And for those of you maybe who have been practicing, just haven't been introduced to, you know, all the things that I've had, that, you know, that I've been blessed to see, I'm telling you that there is nothing out there that you cannot do inside of this craft. Nothing cannot do. Except, of course, bring yourself wealth, or, you know, bring yourself money, or, you know, Make yourself president of the United States, something stupid. You know, obviously, the universe, the gods, deities, demons, they're not interested in stupid wishes and dreams. You know, we're not the jinn. Gratitude, three wishes. It's not about that. Here's the other thing I would say too. Well, I'm already halfway through this, my time zone here. Here's the other thing that I would say too, to those that are starting out into the craft. You know, I had someone send me a message, a private message, a couple weeks ago, and I meant to bring this up last week, I forgot. And they said, "Wow, so I'm studying witchcraft now, and I'm wondering, can you give me a spell or tell me how to astral travel?" Wow, astral travel. Well, okay, let me ask you a question. You know how to draw a protection circle that you can lay inside of, you can surround yourself with? Uh, no, no. How about a protection spell, something to protect you while you're actually projecting? No. Okay. People, for those of you who are starting, before you even think about learning how to do a magical spell or incantations or mantras or even setting up your own first ritual or setting up a ritual, first learn how to draw, how to make your protection circle. Learn how to charge that. Learn about protection spells, for Christ's sake. These are things you're dabbling with stuff that can get you hurt, and it can. Some people might be like, well, really? Astral projection? How's it going to get you hurt? Imagine this. It'd be like taking this cup. It's full. Okay? Emptying it out. Now, while it's full, I can sit down underneath a dripping faucet. It's not going to get any fuller because anything else that goes into it or tries to go into it is going to run right off. Now, imagine emptying out that cup. Now it's empty. And your spirit's not there. But you don't have a protection circle and you don't have protection spells around you. You're just an empty vessel laying there. A demon comes by and sees that empty vessel there and decides that it wants to occupy the empty spot. Now your spirit, basically wandering and making its way back, tries to go back in, but the cup's full. Shoots off. People are like, really? Does that really happen? Could it happen? Yes, it could and has happened. I have known people that it has happened to. I have known those that I believed that, you know, people are like, oh my God, he just went insane, he just went crazy, crazy witch. He just went nuts. It wasn't himself anymore. That's right, he wasn't himself anymore. He had not protected himself, or they had not protected themselves. They had emptied themselves out, allowing something else to come back in. They decided it didn't want to leave. It was going to take up occupancy, use that body for what it wanted to, and not leave. Now, had that person been an experienced witch, it would have known. It would have also known. Wow, my English is great tonight. It would have also known how to cast that spirit back out, to allow its spirit to come back in. But because they weren't an experienced witch, they were lost. Now, the good news was that they had enough people around them who knew and were able to recognize what had happened. They were able to help them to recover. And they did recover. But they were fortunate. How many people out there actually do that? Do you think in thousands of years that the world's been here that have done that, that they didn't have that helping hand? They didn't have somebody there who could help them or guide them back? Probably quite a bit. So, as I was saying, folks, please, I'm telling you, learn the basics. Learn the craft 101, basic 101, which is basically just that. Learn your craft. Learn what tools you need to use. Learn what a protection circle is. Learn protection spells. Learn purification. People, that's another thing that's so very important. Depending, there are some things, obviously, that require darker energy. But for the average spell that you're going to probably be using, which is going to be for, say, a healing or sending someone better luck. Maybe they just had a string of bad luck and they need a little help. Or to help mend a broken heart. Maybe they lost somebody in the family, so you need to send them some peace, some strength. The basic spell, you know, you're going to be using a lot of more positive energy, not white energy, but positive energy. Learn how to purify. Learn how to clean your aura. Learn how to do these things first. It's kind of like, imagine a baby being born and his parents being like, screw the crawling, we need him to run. Not going to happen. The baby is not just going to jump up and take off running. He's going to first learn to crawl. From learning how to crawl, he's then going to learn how to walk. From learning how to walk, he's then going to learn how to run. And it's the same process. For those of you that have been into this journey for years, that are already up walking, and some of you running, may the ground always be forever soft beneath your feet. But for those of you who are not, for those of you who are newer, for those of you who are inexperienced, enjoy being a baby. Enjoy the learning process. Enjoy. Allow yourself to become involved in the process. Grow with it. Let it consume you, but grow with it. Don't rush the process. Learn the process. Once you've learned the process, then everything else is just going to fall into place. But take the time to learn. Now, am I telling you, to be a witch, you need to go out there and learn how to read Theban? Or you need to get out there and you're never going to be able to do anything unless you learn how to read Greek and Hebrew and, let's go brain dead here. It's going to come to me in a minute. All these other languages, you know. No, I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that to help. I'm telling you that there are a lot of the old magic, you know, spells that were written in these languages. Most of the old magic that I have found here in the U.S., the older magic, actually has been written in Theban, which goes back 1,000+ years. You know, and had I not known what Theban was, to me it would have looked like just a bunch of marks on a paper. Now next week, I am going to show you guys what Theban looks like. Some of the Theban spells and incantations that I have written down. I'm also next week going to be introducing the Book of Shadows. What is a Book of Shadows? A Book of Shadows is basically just that. It is a book where, or many books, some of us have been in this a long time, we have went through many, many books of shadows and rings, where as we learn things and things are given to us, and as we access the knowledge that's out there, we write it down. And we write it into what we call our books of shadows. Now these are charged books, very protected books, spell books. These are things also that I would advise that for those of you who do have books of shadows, that you write and charge them. Charge them often. Protect them. Put protection spells on them. I've seen people who were so involved into their books of shadows that they would actually put spells of death on them. Should anybody, you know, touch their books of shadows or open it up besides them, may it bring them pain and suffering. You know, I'm not going to say they're wrong. I mean, it's your own private walk, your own private experience. So I will be introducing that as well. Folks, thanks for listening to me tonight. I know we didn't cover a whole lot, except you all did get to meet Ash. Okay, everybody, let's say goodnight to Ash, because she's going to be very upset if we don't say goodnight to her, okay? Good night, Ash. Okay. Ash is saying goodnight back to you. Okay. All right. Oh, one other thing I wanted to touch over real quickly. I want to tell you, just kind of walk over this real quickly. I've got just a few minutes left here. I want to show you all something. Okay? Is this neat or what? What do you think? Now, what is this? Okay, this here is my wish stone. So how does it work? Usually what I do here with this, if I have somebody that needs something or whatever the case may be, I'll figure out how to do this here in a second. Alright, switch hands here real quick. I will take a piece of like writer's chalks, like car dealerships use to, car dealerships around glass. And in English, I'll translate the wish or desire. Down below it, usually I'll translate it into thieving, because it actually wipes off very, very nicely. You can actually clean it very nicely. As you see, you can't see any sparkles or anything about it just diminished or anything like that. I charge this now by moonlight, because being a child of night is one of my favorite charging elements, is the moon. I'll charge this under the moon for 3 days and 3 nights. Well, for 3 nights, I will then go out as it's charging, leaving it out there. Now, it'll charge also by daylight and night, but this particular rock seems to do better, actually, by moonlight. So, I'll go out every night, run my incantations, uh, run my prayers, my thoughts into it. As I'm doing this, I'm pouring energy into my stone. Okay, every night as I'm going through all of this, I'm pouring energy into the stone. On the third night, then I will release it. Okay, releasing the energy in me, releasing the energy in this stone. And because it's already transcribed nicely in both the English and the Theban, which demons and spirits read Theban much better than they do English, English being a newer language to them, Theban being the actual language of the demons and spirits. They read Theban. Seeing that, then they carry that energy and they carry that wish. And in so doing, I've seen a lot of people achieve what they wanted from a wishing stone, which is basically the same way as you see flat surface, flat on the other side too. So anyway, so there's a little tip. Hope maybe that helps somebody. Okay, folks. Well, thank you all for listening, for tuning in. Like I said, as we get more into this, as the weeks go by, we'll get more adept at this. A whole lot more knowledge to get at. It'll get a whole lot more interesting too, guys. I'm learning how to do this too, so just bear with your wolf. Wolf loves you all very much. Namaste. Love, light, and darkness to all who seek it, no matter which path you choose. Love you guys. Till next week. Bye.